Coach, we're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River, and we've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Detroit Lions. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Running from the gun, Johnson. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Got a man, it's Amendola. Danny Amendola, he's going to go. Touchdown, Detroit. Danny Amendola, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's got a man, complete. It's a gain of 35.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Two times. We got three, fellas. We got 3. 35 to Mike. Who that?
Throwing is Wentz. That's caught left side, Arcega-Whiteside. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line.
That's another Eagles.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here we go. Ready? Check.
On first down, Wentz. Right side caught by Jackson. A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Joker.
Coaching spell.
To throw, it's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get them about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 43-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, man. Watch this. 51 the mic, boy. 51.
Bridgewater. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down.
First down.
First down carry here for Johnson. And shutting him off. Now open field. The 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you bring some doubt in their minds.
We got this.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Throwing now is Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. But now it'll be 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here we go. 280.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 more there and another first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
A run there on first down, and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Adams in his 2nd year in the league. Last season, a little bit of a surprise. Didn't get the starting role until the midway point of the season, and then actually would lead the Eagles on the ground with 511 yards rushing. Of course, it was a bit of a tough season for Philadelphia. 28th overall rushing the football in the NFL.
Mike 40, Mike 40. They're running it. Mike 40, check.
2nd and 5 now. Wentz, there goes a deep ball, end zone, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. That's caught by Jackson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
I'm here all day.
Running with Howard. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Here we go. 280.
Tight left. Three down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
That's another Eagles first down. First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Wentz now to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
.4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Bridgewater. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Slam.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete.
That one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
This will be fielded at the 17. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Motion. Let's go. Hey, Mike 40.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Oh, here we go.
Now wins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Lions will take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake the... He's got the lane, and there he goes. A big run there by Johnson. 55 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
18-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check 3, check 3.
C.J. Anderson in the game. He gets it here. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Ready?
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Danny Amendola. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw is Wentz. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick.
Well, Brandon, this is a former first-round pick, and he's been a bit of a disappointment in his career up till now, but he's still got room to grow. And this is an excellent play right here to come away with the football.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Watch tight, tight ends right. Watch tight, tight ends right. 4 down, check, check. Check, crunch.
Bridgewater to throw it this time. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Sunday!
42, bring it!
Hey, Zoo!
42's mine.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Check hot route. Hot.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On 1st down, it's Johnson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. 6 yards. Back to pass. Kill. Hey, turn.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. He takes this to the 15. A flashy juke. That got him a couple extra yards. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go. Chance. Undercrunch.
Bridgewater now. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Flushed, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're down here, but Very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Double time. Three down. 35.
They go counter with Howard. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Watch the screen. Check. Under 10. 10. Watch the twist.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. He gets it left side to Johnson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. So now they operate back from their side of the field here, 2nd and long. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Over the middle, it's Amendola. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 2nd down, there's the option going left. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
3rd and short yardage. Bridgewater. This is Johnson. He's got him. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on third down.
First down.
On first down, they're going option left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Check the backer, check the backer.
From the gun, Bridgewater escaping the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
To throw, it's Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he connects with Ertz. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
First down at the 44-yard line.
Here we go. Ready? Two jet.
Big ass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And this is caught by Jackson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line.
Eagles, first down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the Lions' 19-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think someone's going to get him to QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now, Wentz again. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones.
Marvin Jones. A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 3rd and 4. And this crowd urging on their defense. They're up and making noise. On 3rd, here's an option play right. He can run for it, and he will. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Wentz going to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Wentz to throw again. And this is Ertz with it, right side. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, 4th quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be indisputable visual evidence in order to change it. Now here's the big question. Do they actually have that evidence?
We're about to find out. 2nd down and goal. Wentz looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, but now it's 3rd and goal.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run.
And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They've gone to the fourth quarter now in Dallas. The Dolphins, they've now taken the lead. That has been a back-and-forth affair. A win would be their first of the young season. On the ground, this is Johnson. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Danny Amendola, that was the intended target, and it's third down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. It's caught, Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Prater on to add the extra point.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
2nd and 6 at their 49-yard line.
Got 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
The Eagles on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This will be taken at the 10. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. The tackle there by Eli Harold.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They run it again with Anderson. And some room to roam now. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Not today, you are. Not today.
From the pistol, they run with Anderson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Lions, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.